die anytime soon. Gotta do something about this. I did something. I finally did something. Now I think I'm gonna live. Wake up! Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're like me and eating a low carb diet or a ketogenic diet or a carnivore diet, lion diet, you might have seen your LDL cholesterol shoot up and maybe your doctor is freaking out a bit, like my doctor has. You're what researchers call a hyper responder, or if you're really in that unique group, a lean mass hyper responder, where you have high LDL, high HDL, and low triglycerides since switching to a low carb diet. There's a brand new study that came out today, hot off the press, called Plaque Begets Plaque, ApoB Does Not. And it's from Keto CTA trial published in JACC Advances April 2025. I'll put a link down to the trial in the show notes. And y'all, it's kind of a big deal. And so let me try to break that down for you. Again, I'm not a health expert. These are just things that I'm interested in now that I've gone on my health journey and have been using a carnivore diet for 3 years to try to heal my type 2 diabetes and some of the issues, metabolic issues that I've had. So let's break this down simply. What did they do? The researchers followed 100 people just like us on low carb diets with high LDL over a year. And they used a special heart scan called a coronary CT angiography to look directly at the plaque in the coronary arteries. And what did they find? Just to break it down, the biggest takeaway is that LDL and ApoB didn't predict plaque growth. Instead, people who already had some plaque were more likely to develop plaque over time. In other words, plaque begets plaque, not LDL or ApoB. And so what that does is it flips upside down the usual narrative that we've been told for decades, that higher LDL automatically means higher risk for heart disease. But in this group, metabolically healthy people with high LDL from a low carb lifestyle, it wasn't the case. So what does that mean for you and for me? If you're someone with high LDL, low triglycerides, high HDL, good blood pressure, low insulin, and strong metabolic health, then this study suggests that your LDL alone doesn't mean you're doomed. But, and this is important, it's a big but, it also doesn't mean to ignore everything. So what can we do with this information? We can get a coronary CT angiography, and this is what they used in that study. I personally haven't got one. I got a CAC scan instead, and I did come back with a score of 122. So I have some plaque buildup, so this is why I'm interested in this. But in this study, and with this scan, it looks directly at your arteries to see if plaque is actually forming, so you don't have to guess if there's plaque forming. And so what do you do if you have plaque already? Well, one, don't freak out like I want to, because this is where the study actually gives us power. Since existing plaque predicts future plaque, your number one goal at this is to stabilize what's already there. And that means keeping your inflammation low, avoiding smoking and seed oils, prioritizing sleep, your stress management, and eating like nutrient-rich foods. That means you might actually need to possibly consider taking medications or supplements that are not just based on cholesterol, but based on your personal risk profile, depending on your metabolic health and where you're at in your journey. You could also recheck with a CCTA every year or two just to monitor your progression. Now that you know that plaque begets plaque, you have something to watch. I would say you could also check your other markers, watch your insulin, get your fasting insulin checked, your CRP, your inflammation markers in your body. Get your A1C in check. Watch your triglycerides. These matter a lot, and triglycerides are going to go up if you're eating a lot of carbs. And to stay metabolically healthy, getting good sleep is number one. Getting some strength training, eating real, actual food, getting sunshine, lower your stress. It all helps prevent plaque progression. This is going to be a little bit difficult. It's been for me and for a lot of people to try to find and work with a provider who understands low carb physiology. Not all doctors are on the same page with this yet, but are more and more catching on. And you could show them this study if you need to and see if they're gonna take the time to read it and fight for you and your health. The reality is this study isn't saying that LDL doesn't matter at all. We don't know. But in this study, it showed no correlation to heart disease and plaque buildup. All it's really saying is that the context matters. If you're healthy on the inside, your risk may not be what the old charts say. And if you do have plaque, this study really just gives you a clear path to stop the progression. So stay proactive and not panicked. So what I want you to do is to take this info, use it to guide your next steps, and to keep taking care of your health. Just keep chipping away at it and doing it smart and just paying attention. And I would like for you to drop a comment down below this video and tell us a story about your journey of going on low carb diets and maybe your struggles with finding a provider that understands what you are doing, and if you could, who it is, and if not, what you're doing in the meantime, or how have you been able to navigate through going on a low carb diet and having issues. Who's been your help? Who's helping you? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and to share this with anyone who needs some peace of mind today. Kilby out. Special heart scan called a CCTA, coronary CT angiography. Angiography. See, I'm not a professional.